All right, here we go. I'm Carrie Davidson. I'm the Move Fitness Manager, and we're going to talk about staying fit, or at least staying active. Your definition of fit might be different than my definition of fit. That's okay. Everybody can have a different definition. So we're at least going to talk about ways to stay active, get more movement throughout your day. So we're going to start with a goal, and it's January, and everybody has New Year's resolutions. If you want to advance that slide, Azetta, I don't want to talk to you about SMART goals. Don't. I'm tired of hearing about SMART goals. They're good. It's good. SMART goals are good. But that's what everybody talks about in January. So here's my thing. What is your goal? It doesn't have to be SMART. It doesn't have to be specific. It doesn't have to be any of those things. It could be anything. It might be to have more steps. It might be to, I don't know, whatever. We'll talk about that in a second. But I want you to be thinking while we go through this, what is it that I want to do? And if you're at home more, like I find myself here today, moving at home, I have to figure out ways to make more movement happen than it naturally happened when I was working on campus during the day. And if you are on campus or at the office or whatever your workspace looks like, maybe that is a little bit more challenging than if you were at home or somewhere else. So we're going to talk about both of those scenarios. And then we're going to talk about some tools that might be helpful for you. And they might surprise you as far as what is on that list. So what I want to talk about first is a little bit of research, because we can't go anywhere without research, right? We can't tell us, we can't suggest that we do things, we can't give advice, we can't spread the good news until we have the research to back it up that it actually works. And so what I want to talk about is the move well attitude. That's what I call it. And so there is some good research out recently that shows us the difference in, okay, we had two comparison groups, and there was two different projects. One was all men, one was men and women, but there were two different groups. And one showed us that people who sat for 23 hours a day, right? Like you sit for 8 hours in your office and an hour commute in, an hour commute out, then you sleep in your bed for 8 hours. Ha, yeah, right. I was in my bed for 8 hours. Anyway, you're sitting down, or you're resting, or you're sedentary for 23 hours a day. But for that 1 hour, you go to the gym and you work really hard and you sweat and you run and you lift, you do all the stuff and you work really hard, right? Because that's on the list. Exercise is on the list, check the box, and we did it. Compared to the people who never go to the gym, who never have dedicated exercise, but are just active through the day. They're not sedentary for any long length of time. They're active through the day. They get up, they walk around, they move stuff, they pick stuff up, they put stuff down. They're active. Those people who never went to the gym and who were active through the day had lower BMI, lower triglycerides, lower cholesterol, lower risk of morbidity and mortality. And so that's the attitude that we need to adopt, right? Like, I'm an exercise physiologist. I am the Move Off Fitness Manager. Do I want you to go to the gym? Yes, I do. I want you to go to the gym. But I'm telling you, if that is not something that your life can handle right now, be active through the day. Your health will benefit if you are active through the day. All right, so let's go to goals. I want you to think about it, maybe even write it down right now if that helps you. Maybe your goal is, if you want to advance that slide, please, Azetta. Maybe your goal is steps. Like you've been wearing a device and you're hovering around 4,000 or 5,000 steps a day. Maybe you want to make that 6. That's a super growth. Let's do it. Go to 6. There is nothing that says you have to have 10,000 steps a day. Just saying, that's not a thing. We can talk about that later if you want. Put a question in the chat if you have a question about that. Maybe you want to lift heavy things, right? That's that second thing up there, weight. Maybe you want to lift heavy things. Maybe it's your child. Maybe it's a hobby you want to pick up. Maybe you just want to lift heavy things. Or maybe you want to lose weight. That's okay too. I'm not telling you that that's not a bad goal. Maybe you want to run a certain distance or walk a certain distance or bike or swim a certain distance. And so you're thinking about a mileage goal. Great. And this time that has really changed our perspective in the last 8 months has really changed things for people. So, and I'm a good example of that. I am a lifter and I am a yogi. If you want to go back to that goals slide, please. Is it? Yeah, thanks. I am a lifter and I am a yogi. Those are my two main forms of exercise. I walk, but that was about it. Well, not being at the office, I'm not going to the gym quite as often to lift all those heavy things and focus on the weight training. And so I decided to run a half marathon. Am I a runner? Nope. Have I ever done it before? Nope. But I sure am training for it now. And it's great. It's fun. I'm going to do it one time. I probably won't do it over and over and over again. I do like the running. I'll probably keep a maintenance mileage after the half, but it's something that I'm going to do. It's a new goal. I've never done it before. When we hit those sort of milestones, then we get that dopamine hit, right? It's like a little brain cocktail. Woohoo! And so it's an accomplishment that your brain likes. So what maybe your goal is for your clothes to fit differently or to fit better or to get into some clothes that you haven't been into in a while. I am not here to tell you what your goal is. You are probably here because you already have something in mind. And maybe it's pretty general and you do need some help really identifying what that goal is. We are here for that. You can talk to our health coaches, you can talk to me or the other exercise physiologist, Ryan, that we have. We are happy to help you with defining what a goal really should be for you, but it is not up to me. Your goal is not my goal, and my goal is not yours. So you're here because you already probably have something in mind. So just keep that in the back of your head as we talk about these things today. Oh, I'm hitting the button like I can advance the slide. Thanks. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about just getting more movement in. Okay. And I'm going to talk real general here about physical activity and just movement. Okay. I'm going to use those pretty interchangeably when you're at home. So I want to talk about laundry. This is a parent group. We do laundry. A lot of it if you have more than one child or if you have people who change their clothes a lot in your household. And maybe this stems from my college days, but I've never been a person who likes to do laundry throughout the week. I don't like it. It doesn't work for me. I don't love laundry. Who does? But so I let it all pile up. That's what I do. And then on a day that I know I'm going to work from home for the whole day, I'll do the laundry, which means that I have to get up every 30 minutes or an hour and change out the laundry. I take it out of the washer, put it in the dryer, take the next load, put it in the washer, take what's out of the dryer out, go lay it out flat, maybe fold it, let it all pile up. Again, let all that clean laundry pile up. Then when I get it all done, then I'll take a load to each kid's room, right? And here you can put away your clothes, here you can put away your clothes, here you can put away your clothes. That way I know that I'm going to be active through the day. And it doesn't take a minute and a half, and I'm pointing behind me because my laundry is behind me. It doesn't take 90 seconds to swap laundry. So it's not like you're really going to miss out on work time. You could probably make that up later on in the day, right? So let it all pile up. That's a great way to stay active in the day. Makes you get up. It's that reminder, especially if you got the buzzer on. It's a reminder to get up and keep moving. So it's a great way to stay active. Another option that I have listed up here is dishes. I also don't really love dish. I like laundry better than like dishes, but nevertheless, dishes are heavy. Mine are. They're glass and they're heavy. And so one way that I try to make sure that I'm moving mindfully and engaging my muscles is that like when I unload the dishwasher, I'll pile up all the plates and then I'll squat and pick up those plates. And then it's an overhead lift, right, to put them up in there. But I don't just do one at a time. I let them get heavy so I can lift a heavy thing. And the same thing with all the others. You could also add steps to your day that way. So instead of maybe getting the silverware container out and taking it over to the silverware drawer, make your trips back and forth, especially if it's a day you've really been more sedentary than you liked and you really still want to get some more steps in. Don't collect it all and take it in one foul swoop. Do it one at a time or two at a time so that you get the extra steps in. That's a great way to do it too. I put 8 ounces of water. Everybody has their own hydration goal. I'm not here to tell you what your goal is. I'm here to say drink it out of a small glass. It's a mason jar. I have real glasses, but I like a mason jar because it's small and it has a wide mouth. And when I finish it, I have to get up. So if you drink out of a small jar, a small tumbler, a small whatever, that means you have to get up more often to fill it up. So you're getting up more. But then it also means you have to go to the bathroom more. So then you get up and go to the bathroom too. So it's a win-win. So I've seen like these big containers that are already pre-printed. It's like by 9 a.m. you should be here. By 10 a.m. you should be here. By noon you should be here, right? So that you make sure you get all your water in for the day. That's a good way to get all your water in for the day. I propose you get a small glass so that you get up 1,000 times in the day to fill it up. Maybe set a timer. We've talked about this before. We've talked about this a lot. I've talked about it to this group and to a lot of other groups about setting a timer, whether that be on maybe your device that you're wearing on your arm, your phone, your Outlook. Set a timer to get up every hour and move around. If you're sitting, go stand. If you've been standing, sit down. If you're on a ball, get off the ball. Wherever you are doing, do something different. Just move, change positions, get out of your norm and get moving around. And then also, I want to throw in here now that everything is moved to a virtual format, we do have a part of our Move Well membership that I'll talk about at the end that has a virtual component, and we have an online library. And so those are workout videos and classes that are made by me and my staff at Move Well. And so they're faces that you know, and they're probably in environments that you've seen. And so we do have an online library. If you are interested in that, I'll talk more about that at the end. All right, if you're at work or in the office or some sort of office space, move your printer. So I was in the office yesterday actually, and my office is upstairs on the corner in the Seton Center, and my printer is downstairs at the back end of the pool in Lancaster Aquatic Center. So I had to go print something, and so that's the furthest away printer, but it's also the only printer that I have. So move your printer. Not only will that save you time and space and money for all these different printers for everybody to have their own, you all could conglomerate and do a shared printer, especially now. So move your printer far away so that if you want to print and go pick that up, then you have to really move to go get it. Also, use the bathroom that's farthest away. Like that might not be a thing in your house, but that's probably a thing at work or wherever you are in your office space. So I could use the bathroom that's down the hall from my office, or I could go downstairs and use the bathroom that's down in the locker room. That would give me more steps, get me moving just a little bit more. Again, you could set a timer at work, set it on your Outlook. There's lots of apps for that you could certainly use. Also, when I'm on campus, I don't look for, not always do I do this, but I don't always look for the parking place that's close. Look for the parking place that's far away. Maybe consider paying the cheaper rate for the cheaper parking tag and parking further away so you can work a 10 or 15-minute walk into your day every morning and every evening when you leave. So if you're building in a 10-minute walk in the morning and a 10-minute walk in the evening, that's 20 minutes of walking that you didn't get before. So take the opportunity to park far away. And this could go not just at work, although UK is very generous that way in allowing us really far away parking. But you could also do this when you go to the grocery store or shopping. Instead of trying to find the spot that's closest, try to find the spot that's furthest away. You're probably going to be carrying bags or pushing a shopping cart, which is going to give you a little extra boost anyway. So park far away. Why not? And then again, you can always use our online library. It's on demand. You can use that anywhere, anytime. All right, let's talk about some movement tools. This might be my favorite slide. So I actually taught a class, and I think it actually might be in our library. I taught a class where my heavy object that I did for this strength training class was a paint can, because that's what I had at my house, a paint can. And so a full paint can, if it's full of paint, just like a gallon of paint that you would paint your wall in your house, weighs about 11, almost 12 pounds if it's full. Now, the picture that I have here, it's actually from a fitness company, and it's a version of a kettlebell. But is a paint can and a kettlebell really that different? Not really. If the paint can handle bothers you, you could wrap a towel around it and tape it on there with duct tape, or just wrap some duct tape around the handle. That's not going to bother the paint can at all, but it's probably going to feel better on your hands. So that's an object that you could use at home, and you can use it just like a kettlebell. So any kettlebell workout that you have, or that we could write for you, or that you've seen, you could substitute a paint can. The same goes for like a gallon jug of milk or water. If it's milk, it's about 8.5 pounds, somewhere between there, 8 and 9 pounds, depends on if it's skim milk or whole milk. It's about 8 or 9 pounds. But the great thing about both of those, the paint can and the gallon jug, is they have a handle. So that's really easy to use, like a kettlebell or a dumbbell. It's really easy to use, like a weight that you might be used to in the gym if you've been doing that already. The tube sock is not just fun and cool in 70s. You can fill it with sand and tie it off, right? So the sand doesn't leak. And then you've got sandbags. So you can create all different weights You might create them and tie them around ankles for when you walk or around hands so that you can do different hand weights. You also could take the sand and fill up the jug, and then you're going to get more like 13 pounds if you fill up a gallon jug with sand. So there's lots of options here, especially if you don't want to spend any money. There's lots of options. Of course, there's always home equipment. You could order kettlebells or sandbags or anything like that for home and have them at home. I have a couple sets of dumbbells back here myself, but you can also make them and use what you have. And the other thing I want to say about that is laundry jugs work great. And I'm going to show you a little 2-minute video here in a second that one of my graduate assistants did for me with a laundry jug. So I was doing a laundry jug workout over the summer when my kids were home. And I got, like, I buy the big Costco one, so it's ginormous because I have a lot of laundry to do. But I also had like a little fabric softener one. So I gave my child, my little one, the fabric softener, and then I had the big one so we could do the same workout. I just adjusted it down for his size. So that's something to think about too, if you're trying to incorporate your kids. And I'm talking more about kids in just a little bit. A laundry basket. Lots of options here. I already talked about how you just get more steps in the day and just get up from your desk a lot just by swapping laundry. But you can fill that laundry basket up with different things, and then it becomes a heavy object for you to lift and use. And so I've put all sorts of stuff in my laundry basket that you would think wouldn't really belong in your laundry basket, including my child. Because he only weighs about 38 pounds, and so I can handle that. If you don't have a child that size, or that's maybe not able to hold their head up, that might not be a good option. Laundry baskets also slide really easily. They're designed to do that because of the laundry thing. But I have been known to put a laundry basket, fill it full of heavy things, and put it in my living room floor, and then do a workout where I'm pushing that laundry basket and pulling that laundry basket because I'm sitting on the floor next to it, so I can push pull with that thing. Laundry baskets are really versatile. They have a lot of handles. They have a lot of holes where you could hook in a strap or a belt. You can put lots of different things in there. So there's a good options there with laundry baskets tools. A staircase. We have a great blog article. I'm going to give you the link to our blog here in a minute because we have been posting daily workouts and tips and thoughts and ideas about working out and exercise. We usually have a weekly theme, and then on Fridays we do a live Facebook and talk about, the blog for the week. And one of them over the summer was about stairs, and we have shown you a great stair workout. Lots of different exercises you can do on stairs. I've led stair workouts before for cardiovascular exercise. You can use it just like a step. So if you were ever like in that step aerobics generation back in the 80s, you don't have to use the whole staircase. You can just use that bottom step just like a regular step aerobic step. So there's a lot of things you can do in the stairs. And if yours are like this picture and you have spindles, then again, you can wrap stuff around there and use it as like a cable pull, right? So I've been known to use bungee cords because I don't not necessarily have a cable machine. So I've been known to use bungee cords around there to give me resistance. You could use tights. You could use TheraBand. You could use lots of different things for resistance. And it's especially helpful if you have those different heights of spindles. And then you can use your children if they're small enough and if you can lift them. Now, I did put that picture on here of how to lift correctly. So you could replace that child with that laundry basket, a heavy box, a pet, anything that you have to lift. You want to make sure that you're getting close to it, you're getting low to it, and that you're getting it close to your body. And so you can see the incorrect way and the correct way there of lifting up something heavy. So I'm hoping that you have at least maybe one or two of these tools in your life somewhere at home or at work. There's tools in the office too, right? You have staircases at the office. You have books at the office that you could pile up together, maybe not put them in a laundry basket, but hold them close to you. They could be that heavy object. So there are ways to get exercise and movement in, even if you're not ready to maybe go back to your gym, or that's never been a thing for you, or you don't necessarily have any gym equipment at home. All right, so I would like for you to click on that bottom link, Azetta, and see if we could watch that 2-minute video. I don't know if it'll work if you have to copy paste, but this is one of my graduate assistants who is showing us different things that you can do with a laundry jug. Is that gonna work out for us here?
Are you seeing it now? Hi there, my name is Justin Gibson with UK Health and Wellness, and I'm here to show you some interesting uses for a laundry detergent bottle. Hopefully that gave you a few ideas to get the creative juices flowing. Remember, you don't need the fanciest equipment to have a good workout. You can find more ideas and workouts right here on the UK Health and Wellness blog.
Thanks, Izetta. Thanks for getting that going. So yeah, you can see he used it just like he wouldn't use a normal kettlebell or he would use a regular dumbbell. You could put a paint can in his hand and he could have done the same things. So I'm hoping that this is stimulating you guys to be like, oh yeah, I totally have this at home or that at home. Again, bungee cords, socks, laundry baskets, any of those things can be helpful. The next couple slides that I want to talk about, I didn't know how many of you had really young children, or I should say small children. They may not necessarily be young, but smaller children. We're going to go through that parent-baby workout. And I actually wrote this for a specific person, but we're going to use it today. We're going to look at it. So if this is something that you're thinking about, contact me and let's do a consult together. We can do it over Zoom just like this. But we can talk about what you have and maybe how to get kids incorporated. I'm going to keep going here in a minute about different kid things. But if we go up to that first, yeah, there we go, the goblet squat. So if you have a child that's small enough, maybe you wear that baby still, or you have a child that you can hold close to you. So my son is small. He weighs about 38 pounds. I can totally hug him to me. He's going to wrap his legs around my stomach and I can do squats with him. Now I'm not going to do very many because he weighs almost 40 pounds. But that's one way to get your kids involved. And he thinks that's great fun. Like he laughs and giggles and it's great fun. So a goblet squat is the exact same thing. Instead of holding a dumbbell, you're holding your child. A chest press or a bench press. Now the picture I have here is on an incline, but you could do it flat on the floor, especially if that makes you feel safer holding your child. If they're small enough, you can hold under their hips and under their armpits. So shoulders and butt basically, and lift them up that way for a chest press while you're laying flat on the floor. It's just like a bench press. Push-ups, so that we're going to flip that around and get the opposite direction. If your child is big enough to hold their head up and stay put, you could even put them on your back to give you a little extra resistance in that push-up. If not, you could put baby underneath you so that you're coming down to like kiss baby or talk to baby every single time you come down for the push-up. The next one is an alternating curtsy lunge. Again, you can hold baby close. This is more of your glute med. So where the squat was really focusing more quad heavy, this is more gluteus medius, so those outer hips. If you do the curtsy lunges to the side, again, holding baby close, let him or her wrap their arms and legs around you. Kettlebell deadlifts. So you saw Justin actually in the video doing a kettlebell swing, and it's kind of the same thing. So as long as baby's big enough and strong enough to hold up their head, and you can do this safely and gently. It's just like what you do when you hold your kids under the armpits and you go between your legs and then you fling them up. As long as you're not flinging them hard and you're being safe and you're holding on to them with a good grip, don't let them go. It's the same thing as what Justin was doing with the laundry detergent. It's a kettlebell swing. A tricep dip. So we're talking about this bat wings right here, triceps. So we put our hands on a chair or a step or a couch behind us and let baby sit right here on our hips. And it's almost like a hip thrust, like a hip thruster, except for instead of using the hips, we're going to leave that stationary because that's where baby's weight is. That's where we're sitting. And we're going to use our arms to lift and lower for a tricep dip. The next one is a Russian twist or a Mason twist. And so same thing, you can hold baby close to you. Now that's a lot of weight for me to be able to do a twist. But one thing I like to do is put him on one side of me. And so I'll turn and touch him or kiss him or, make a funny face at him and giggle at him and then turn, and we can go back and forth. And he can even do them with me if he's big enough, right? If your child's big enough, he can even do them with you. So you're facing each other, going toward each other that way. And then the last one are bridges, where again, you can put him, this is a hip thrust. You can put him or her on your hips, on your stomach. And then as you push up into a bridge position, you're lifting the weight of the child or the baby up, as long as the baby's safe. So I want to say all of that with the caveat of make sure your baby's safe, make sure your baby's able enough to hold on and be stable, hold their own head up, and to know what they're doing. So I wanted to just throw that out there. So again, if you have questions about any of this, you can do a consult with me. Go through your health and wellness dashboard, do a consult with me or Ryan. He also has 2 children and likes to work his kids into his workouts if possible. And so we are happy to do that. Or if you don't have kids or grandkids, or that's not even a thing, maybe you just want to know what around your house you have, we're happy to help you figure that out and find those tools and write up a program for you if that's something that you're interested in doing. Or maybe you really just need to help defining your goals. We're happy just to figure that out for you and we're with you rather and make a really specific plan. I do want to tell you about our MoveWell membership options because we have expanded into 3 different MoveWell memberships now. This was just as of the 1st of December. So we've only been doing this for about a month now. We still have our regular $7 a month payroll deduction, and that gives you both MoveWell at Export, MoveWell at Seton, in-person group fitness classes when we're allowed to have them, virtual live group fitness classes. So we do have a live schedule, but then also that library of classes that I told you about. And that one's $7 a month. That's the same as it always has been. And then the virtual only, whoops, that's a sorry, I typed that wrong. The virtual is only $5 a month. That should say 5 right there under regular where it says virtual. That should say $5 a month. Also payroll deduction if that's an option for you, if you're not a retiree, which gives you the live virtual classes, the library, online training sessions, and of course, all of these you have access to our blog, which we post to daily. And then the all access membership is $20 a month. And we've done that in conjunction with Campus Recreation and Wellness. So $20 a month, and you can go to Johnson Center, Alumni, MoveWell at Export, MoveWell at Seton, any of their group fitness classes, any of our group fitness classes, any of our virtual classes, any of their virtual classes, all things fitness on campus. You can do all campus fitness for $20 a month now. And that's new. That's something that we haven't had in the past, especially with all the virtual options included. So there's sort of 3 different membership options, a $5, a $7, and a $20 a month option. If that's something that you want to do, or if you have questions about, I'm happy to take them. You can type some questions up in the chat. And then the other thing is that if you would give me screen share ability, then I want to, thank you. I want to share my screen with you for just a second and direct your attention to our blog. So our blog is just wordpress.com, but it's LiveWell UK, and you'll see that in our URL. Here you go. You should see my screen. And so I just opened up to one of these called Working Out on a Playground. So I have written a lot of playground workouts. Ryan has written some playground workouts. And so I wanted for you to see those here. So you can see our URL at the top, Live Well UK from WordPress. This is our blog, which we post to daily. And this particular one, like I said, is a playground workout. And I was just going to open that up. So you can see what he's done here. So he suggested using split squats. Put your back foot on a swing. Those are a lot more difficult than you think if you're putting that foot on a swing because it's unstable. Hamstring curls, same thing. Lay down in the playground, put your feet in the swing, and you can use it like a TRX suspension system. Decline push-ups, you could put your feet up on the slide. You could put your feet up on a bench or the curb outside on the sidewalk. Inverted rows, so anything that you can grab onto, whether it be like monkey bars or the bottom of a platform where the kids climb up on, if you can grip it, you can do inverted rows on it. The lateral dumbbell raises, he suggests doing this with a swing. They are a little bit weighted because of the chains, especially if you have the heavy older chains. Pull-ups, again, if you've got monkey bars or any sort of platform that you can grab onto and do pull-ups, even if you're doing sort of assisted pull-ups where you're just on your knees or on your toes and you're using your arm muscles for the majority of it. Hanging knee raises, same thing. If you can grab onto the monkey bars, let your feet dangle down, and then you can do those knee pull-ins. And using the swings is a great option, especially when you can do pikes, you can do the split squats, you could do curls, hamstring curls, you can do any of those things. I've written a lot of playground workouts when people say, hey, I have this, and this, or maybe they could take a picture and send it to me and show me what you have, and then I'm happy to write something up for you. So these are just a little bit of the resources that are available to you guys. I could write something really specific for you if you want to meet with me one-on-one. But let me know, what questions do you have? You can type them in the chat or you can unmute yourself. I think that's okay too.
So Carrie, I was having a conversation with someone the other day and they mentioned something they had heard about called exercise snacks. Do you know this term?
No, this is a new term for me. Tell me about it.
Well, all I know, and I haven't researched it at all, is that she, and I think maybe you would agree with, in terms of my understanding, is that it's just these little, 30-second, 1 minute, 2 minute, whatever, workouts, not in their little exercises. If you're standing there doing something, and kind of the way you described, like putting the dishes up into the cabinet, maybe would count for that. Or if you're standing still doing something, maybe dishes or something at the sink stationary or folding laundry, that you do like calf raises or something like that.
Oh yeah, I like that idea. I just was Googling in that while you were explaining it. And that's exactly, there's a whole Instagram campaign apparently on exercise.
Yeah, this was all new to me. I just wondered what your thought was. And, but maybe what you shared earlier about the two studies and that, like the constant movement and activity versus, this dedicated 1 hour, I'm going to go to the gym, work really hard, but then the rest of the day I'm going to be sedentary. So.
Right. I like the idea of exercise snacks. If that means you get up every hour and maybe at 8 you do 10 squats and then at 9 you go do 10 push-ups. I love that idea. It gets you up. The whole premise is, the whole bit of research is, don't sit for long periods of time. Our bodies were not designed for that. Think back in caveman days where they didn't sit very much, very long, very often. They were hunting and gathering and building things and working on housing and making rudimentary tools and using them. And, they were doing things with their bodies. We weren't designed to sit, we were designed to move. And so anything that gets us moving more is going to be closer to what our biomechanics are designed to do. And so I like that idea of exercise snacks. I think it lines up perfectly. And whether that's dishes up in a cabinet or a weight over your head at the gym or your child when you're playing, move. I see there's some questions coming in here. Getting motivated. Yeah. So here's a few questions I would ask about the treadmill right next to your desk. Do you like walking on a treadmill? So it's just something for you to think about. You do. Okay, that's good. Like I like to walk on a treadmill. I can't read on a treadmill and I get really bored on a treadmill. So if I'm going to do some stationary cardio, I'd rather do a bike because then I can read, at least keep my mind busy while I'm doing the cardio portion. But if you like to walk on the treadmill, I find that's a great time for me to like maybe watch a show or talk on the phone or do something else. What about Michelle? What if you did some of your work while you walked really slowly, no more than 2 miles an hour on the treadmill? Would that be a possibility to take a laptop and put it on the console of a treadmill? Or if you have to read a paper, if you have to have a conference call, or if you have to listen to this Zoom meeting right now, could you make it little snippets through the day instead of going, oh gosh, now I got to go walk for an hour on the treadmill? Maybe you're going to have a 10-minute phone call, walk on the treadmill for those 10 minutes. That's one thing that I have always started and I have always done is anytime my phone rings, whether I'm at home or the office, it automatically makes me stand up and I'll pace. So my office at home right here is in my sunroom. I pace the sunroom. If I'm in the office, I'll pace the office. It's something that I've taught myself to do a long time ago. And the phone is a audio trigger, right? It's a trigger to go, oh, something different. I got to answer that. I got to get up. And so I get up. Staying focused to walk and work. Oh, yeah. Well, so that's what I said. If you're going to walk on a treadmill and work, do not go more than 2 miles an hour. Keep it low, maybe at 1.0, which seems really slow. But the idea is you don't even know that you're walking then, right? Your focus isn't on the walking. Your focus then can stay on your work. Might be helpful. So this is kind of the same concept of giving kids like Play-Doh or something to do with their hands while they're listening to a teacher or listening to something that they're supposed to be learning. I used to do this with my college kids when I was working with college students. I would even give college kids Play-Doh, give them something to do with their hands while they're trying to focus on listening to a meeting or something like that, so that they don't get distracted. It keeps the hands busy. So it might be able to work the same way. Reading a book or watching a video. Yeah, trying to use her as motivation. It's always helpful when you have support. If the people that you live with are like, yeah, that's important, you need to go take that time to do that. Or, yeah, we're not going to eat blah, 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 blah. Or we are going to eat blah, 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 blah. It's important for you to have that support. And when they think that's important in your life and you think that's important in their life, and for you to support each other, that can make a huge difference. It's part of behavior change theory, right? Of like mesosystem and ecosystem, like all those systems theory. It's part of that to be able to have that support system. So yeah, different people can be motivating. I've actually found that I can walk and run more with people now that I'm working from home. So I meet up with people to go walk or go run. We can stay outside. We can stay distant if we need to. You know, we don't have to be right up in each other's space, and it's outside, so we're not in an enclosed space. And that's helpful to be able to do it with somebody else. I'm also an extrovert. So knowing just a little bit about your own personality can also help you to find your motivation. I'm an extrovert. I'm definitely going to do it. But if I can do it with people, I'm going to be even more pumped up about it. And so if I can teach class, if I can run with somebody, or if I can talk on the phone while I walk or walk with a friend, that is going to be way better for me. And I'm going to get way more out of that mentally, not just physically. So kind of know yourself. And if you're an extrovert and that's what you need, then maybe find somebody that you can at least talk on the phone with. So I've had to travel a bit as well. And when I'm traveling, I can still call them. I'll be like, hey, I'm going to go run at 9. Can you talk to me at 9? And I'll put my earbuds in and talk to them while I run. And I find that way more motivating than if I'm just out there running by myself, even if I'm listening to music. So, but maybe if you're an introvert, it works the other way, right? Like this is my time where I don't have to interact with people and I can just stay within my own head when I go take a walk or go run or whatever it is that you're going to do. And that can be your introvert time to sort of recharge for yourself. And that might be really motivating for you. So part of that, I think, is knowing knowing who you are a little bit and knowing your own personality a little bit. Let me see if I can read what else is here. You know, the other thing that I want to talk about with that with motivation, Michelle, is, and just everybody, is when is your most energetic time of the day? Everybody's different. I know people who are night owls, right? I have some people on my team who are night owls. And I'm going to see, now that we're kind of free to work the hours when we need to work them and around kids and things like that, we have people who are night owls who are working and sending emails and like getting some good work done at 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night. I am in my bed at 10 and 11 o'clock. That is not my good time, I can tell you. So yeah, so in the morning might be the best time. So maybe it's an opportunity to have a conversation with your supervisor about if that's okay, that's your most energetic time for you to go ahead and get that exercise. If you're going to walk or do some weightlifting, if you're going to have some dedicated time, maybe you can do that in the morning as opposed to waiting until after work when you're not motivated to do it, when you're the most energetic, you know, if you're going to have that dedicated time. But again, maybe it's not about having that one dedicated time of 30 minutes. Maybe it's I'll walk for 10 minutes in the morning, I'll walk for 10 minutes at lunch, I'll walk for 10 minutes in the evening. I got my 30 minutes in. So I have kids in school during the day as well. Yeah, and it kind of depends on the age of your children too, right? So my oldest one is in 5th grade. If I want to go for a walk for 30 minutes, she's okay in the house doing school by herself for 30 minutes. She has a phone. I have a phone. She's 11. She can stay here for 30 minutes while I go run or walk or whatever I need to do. So it kind of just depends on the age of your children too. So, you know, again, we can do a one-on-one consult, anybody that is interested in doing that. And we can talk about these. This is exactly what we talk about in those kind of meetings, is when is the best time for you? What's realistic for you? Is it really better to have 30 minutes dedicated, or is it really better to sprinkle that throughout the day? We know there's benefits from both.